new trailer for Frozen 2 left us totally shook, and it sure looks like Elsa isn't the only one with magical abilities. Stay tuned to find out whether or not Anna has powers of her own.
But you won't get your new sled if she's dead.
Sometimes I really don't like you.
The new trailer. When Disney dropped the new trailer for Frozen 2, the world was shocked. The sequel looks like it's going to be action-packed. It also looks a lot darker than the first movie. Let's take a closer look. The trailer opens on the beach at the edge of the sea, but this is no calm day at the beach. It's dark and it looks like a storm is on its way. The waves are crashing like crazy. Elsa is standing at the edge of the water looking determined. She ties her hair back like she's ready to fight. Then she takes off running into the sea. She runs and uses her powers to make it further and further out into the ocean. She's trying to use her magic to conquer the sea. We just love Elsa's determination. She turns a giant wave into a block of ice. It collapses on top of her and she falls into the water. Then the trailer switches gears. Next, we see Anna. She rushes out onto her balcony with a terrified look on her face. There are these ice diamonds floating in the air. They all have different symbols on them, but we'll get to those later. Next, we see Kristoff. He looks determined as he rides on Sven's back. Sven is running along with a whole herd of reindeer. They almost look like they're running into a battle. We go back to Anna. She's alone and cold in the dead of night. She climbs on top of a giant cliff all by herself. She runs to the edge and jumps off. Then we see Elsa and Olaf. They're standing in a giant heart-shaped ring of purple fire. Elsa is using her magic to fight it off. Why is it a heart instead of a circle? What does it mean? We later see Anna, Elsa, Olaf, and Kristoff and Sven looking out over a valley. It's hard to tell if they're looking at Arendelle or a brand new landscape. What we do know though is that it's definitely autumn. The screen cuts to black and an orange leaf swirls around the screen. Then we see Anna, Elsa, and Kristoff walking through a dark forest. They look scared. All of a sudden, Anna turns around, takes Kristoff's sword, and swings it. This trailer was packed with so much information and symbolism, and there wasn't even any talking. There's a lot of magic in the new movie, and it's not just Elsa's icy powers. Some Frozen fans are convinced Anna has powers of her own. So let's explore the possibility.
Big summer blowout.
The first movie. You might think we're crazy when we say that the first movie proves Anna has powers, but hold on to your seats. We're going to prove it to you. First of all, we know that Elsa was born with powers. She wasn't cursed or anything like that. After Elsa accidentally hit Anna with a blast of ice, their parents took them to see the magical trolls. These trolls are famous for being crystal-wielding healers, and later we find out that red crystals are infused with fiery magic. That's important to this theory. King Agnar tells Grandpappy that Elsa was born with her abilities. Something to keep note of is that the king and queen of Arendelle aren't fazed by Elsa's powers. In fact, they seem to know a lot about them. They even have magic-themed books in their library, which is what led them to the trolls in the first place. So what we're trying to say is that magical humans aren't unheard of. So why was Elsa born with magic and not Anna? And who says she wasn't? They are sisters after all. Siblings share DNA among many other things. It's definitely possible that Anna also is gifted. Anna was super young when Elsa struck her in the head with ice. To stop something like this from ever happening again, Grandpappy removed all of Anna's memories of magic, but fans seem to think that his actions also prevented Anna from realizing that she had powers of her own. This isn't the only evidence from the movie, though. Anna spent her early life in complete solitude. She was made to remain within the castle's walls, which was a total bore. Yet she somehow has all these crazy survival skills. She goes out to look for Elsa, and she doesn't even dress appropriately. She's cold, but she doesn't freeze to death. She can also fight. She saves Kristoff from the wolves, and what does she use? Fire. She launches burning stuff at the wolves, and somehow she doesn't get burned. Did you notice that in the first movie? That's more than just an adrenaline rush. She's also super strong, but we're not referring to emotional strength, although she has that too. She hits a wolf with a guitar hard enough to send him flying. And when she fights off Marshmallow, the snow monster, she flings a whole tree at him. She cuts through a strong rope like it's nothing, and she punches Hans so hard he falls into the water. How could a girl like Anna do that if she didn't have powers? We can also see some hints in Anna's wardrobe. She has fiery red hair and green eyes. She wears green all the time, and her clothes have fully bloomed flowers all over them. Her clothes are usually decked out in what we would refer to as summer couture, whereas Elsa is traditionally seen wearing icy colors and blue hues. Anna is often captured in summery light, so we're led to believe that she possesses fiery powers, which is the exact opposite of what her sister is known for. The 4 seasons. The summer and winter symbols are very important clues. We know that summer and winter are opposites. Heat melts snow after all, but don't go telling Olaf that.
And all things hot.
Really? I'm guessing you don't have much experience with heat.
Nope.
In one of her videos, Alice Bunny takes a long, detailed look at the symbolism of the seasons. And she's super smart about all of this. Josh Gad, who voices Olaf, posted a photo of snowflakes on his social media. But when you take a closer look, it's not just a snowflake. First of all, it has too many points. And secondly, the snowflake points have all these symbols on them. Some people think those symbols are Old Norse runes. That was the written language used by Vikings. They're from the same area as the Kingdom of Arendelle, but these symbols are definitely not runes. And Alice Bunny thinks they symbolize the 4 seasons. One of them looks like a diamond or a crystal. This means winter. The next one looks like a leaf falling to the ground, which could be autumn. Across from the winter symbol is what looks like the sun over the horizon. This represents summer. The last one looks like a flower. Flowers bloom in spring. Hey Disney, that is pretty sneaky. We also know that the new movie takes place in autumn. The last one started in the spring, but Elsa turned Arendelle into winter. And then there's the Disney short, Frozen Flew. It's all about Anna's birthday. We know that Anna's birthday is in the summer. It's bright and there is a lot of sunshine. There are flowers everywhere, and these only bloom in the middle of summer. Plus, we already talked about Anna and Elsa's appearance. These sisters represent opposing seasons, which is definitely symbolic. Fire power. Elsa represents winter and has ice powers. So if Anna represents summer, what would her power be? Well, the answer is in the opposites. Let's go back to the trolls. The trolls are made of stone, and they have all sorts of magical abilities. A lot of magic mythology is based on the ideas of 4 elements. One of the elements is earth, which the trolls themselves definitely represent. Earth is usually represented by green, and some of the trolls are seen wearing green crystals. Another element is water, and this is where Elsa's powers come from. She wears a lot of blues, and oddly enough, the trolls also have blue crystals. The third element is air, which is often represented by yellow, and the fourth element is fire, which is depicted by the color red. When Kristoff brings Anna to the trolls, a little troll shows off her red crystal. Some people add in a fifth element, which they refer to as the heart. The director of Frozen, Chris Buck, has mentioned this before. He said after the first movie that Anna's real power is love, and it is love that saves the day. So does that mean that Anna has 2 sources of magic that could make her even stronger than Elsa? Why else do we think that Anna has the powers of fire and love? Well, there's proof in the trailer for Frozen 2. We see Elsa and Olaf fighting off fire. This fire is purple, so it looks pretty magical. But this fire is in the shape of a heart. It's a symbol of love. It's possible that this fiery heart derives from Anna. So why are Elsa and Olaf in danger? Keep watching to find out.
How does this work? Ow! Stop it, Sven. Try and focus here.
Anna's new powers. We already talked about why Anna doesn't show her fire powers in the first movie. However, she does have some powerful traits that make us believe her magic is still there. But the memory of magic was removed from her as a child. Grandpappy did that to protect her. So Anna spends most of her life not knowing about her magic. Elsa grew up with magic and she had a good grasp over it as a kid. But Anna didn't get the chance to learn about her hidden abilities. Well, she's an adult now, and she's got to learn to control it. As a kid, Elsa was still learning to master her intense powers. That's how she hurt Anna. If Anna is learning about her powers, she's probably going to have trouble controlling them. And that is probably why a ring of fire is around Elsa and Olaf. Of course, maybe it was intentional. Anna could have used her magic to keep Elsa from coming after her. We know from the trailer that at some point in the movie, Anna goes off by herself. She could have trapped Elsa so she had time to get away. The heart might be a reminder that she still loves her sister. And Anna knows that fire isn't actually a danger to Elsa. But why would Anna want to go off on her own? We still have so many questions. Are Anna's powers going to cause an accidental emergency like Elsa's did in Frozen? Fire can definitely cause some serious issues. Some people believe that Anna might become an accidental villain, but we aren't so sure about that. The new villain. There are a lot of theories buzzing around the internet about who the new villain could be. Some people think that the trolls are actually the bad guys. It wouldn't be the first time that Disney let us think that a bad character was actually a good guy. Hey, they even did that in the first Frozen movie. Hans sure seemed like a good guy at first, but he turned out to be the worst. Speaking of Hans, lots of people think he'll be back. There have been theories about Hans since before Frozen 2 was even announced. Some people think he might even have powers like Elsa because he's often seen wearing gloves. There could also be a new villain. In the trailer, we see a blonde-haired boy soaring through a pile of leaves, and it sure seems like autumn is important in the new movie. Maybe the new villain has the ability to control the autumn season. That power might be related to wind, which is one of the 4 elements. Whoever the new villain is, we can't wait to see them in action. Frozen 2 comes out in November 2019. Don't be shy, tell us your Frozen 2 theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with the latest Disney news. We'll catch you next time.